Welcome back to Learn Arabic with Manar. Today we will talk about negation. In Levantine dialect, we have three different negations we use all the time: mu, ma, and mish. What's the difference between them and when to use each one of them? Yalla, let's start. Before we start, I want to note the rules that we are talking about today, they are not strictly followed, and they might change slightly between one region and the other. First, we have mu and mish. They function the same, but mu is more used in Syria, mish is more used in the other region of the Levantine dialect. Ma is used all over the Levantine dialect. We will go in details and we will compare between these two, mu, mish, and ma, when to use each one of them and how to use them. Let's start with verbs, when to use ma and when to use mu and mish. With verbs, mostly we use ma. So we use it to negate the past, present, present continuous, future, and present simple. We use mu to negate active participle. Also we use mish, with the exception that mish is used to negate future and present continuous. Let's see some examples to understand all these details. So if you want to say, I didn't study for the exam, you would say, ما درست للامتحان. ما درست, I didn't study. للامتحان, for the exam. ما درست للامتحان, and this is past. With present continuous, if you want to say, I don't study in the weekend, you could say, ما بدرس بالعطلة. ما بدرس, I don't study. بالعطلة, in the weekend or in the vacation. ما بدرس بالعطلة. But for the future, if you want to say, I won't study, I already know the lessons, you would say, ما لح أدرس, بعرف كل الدروس. I'm not going to study, I know all the lessons. ما لح أدرس, I'm not going to study. بعرف كل الدروس, I know all the lessons. Here you could use also مش. مش لح أدرس, بعرف كل الدروس. It's equally used, but ma is used more in Syria. Mish is used in other region of the Levantine dialect. Also with present continuous. ما عم بدرس خلصت. I'm not studying, I finished. ما عم بدرس, I'm not studying. خلصت, I finished. You could also use مش. مش عم بدرس خلصت. I'm not studying, I finished. So remember, you could use ma to negate all the different tenses, but you could use mish only to negate future and present continuous. We use mu and mish to negate active participle. They are equally used depending on the region. So what is active participle? It is like saying I am going, رايح, I am hearing, سامع, I am sleeping, نايم. So if I want to say I'm not going, مو رايح, مو رايح. You could also say مش رايح, مش رايح. You could say I'm not hearing, مو سامع. So if you want to say I'm not hearing you, what are you saying? مو سامع, شو عم تقول? I'm not hearing what you are saying. مو سامع, I'm not hearing. شو عم تقول? What are you saying? You could also say, I'm not going with you. مو رايح معكم. Equally, you could say, مش رايح معكم. Now let's see when we use مش, mu, and ma with the prepositions and ma. And it is at, ma it is with. So we know and could mean two different things. Could mean I have or we have something, and it could be at my place or at my home. Also, ma could mean I have or we have something, and it could mean with me. Let's start with and at. When we are using it to say that I have something, I would negate it with ma. For example, I don't have time, ما عندي وقت. I don't have work, ما عندي شغل. I don't have salt, ما عندي ملح. But if I'm using and at to talk about my place, at my place. In this case, I would use مو or مش. For example, someone is asking سامي عندك? You will answer مو عندي, or you will answer مش عندي. مو or مش to negate the preposition at in the place, and we use ما to negate have. ما عندي شغل, سامي مو عندي. Also مع, the preposition with, when we are using it to say that we have something, we negate it with ما. But when we are using it to say that something is with us, we use مو or مش. For example, you don't have the right to say that. ما معك حق تقول هيك. ما معك, you don't have. حق, the right. تقول هيك, to say that. ما معك حق تقول هيك. On the other hand, if someone is asking you, do you have your car with you? معك سيارتك? And you don't, you will answer لا مو معي. No, it's not with me. Or you could say لا مش معي. We use ما also to say I can't or I don't want. For example, ما فيني حكيك هلا. I can't talk to you now. ما فيني, I can't. حكيك, talk to you. هلا is now. For example, if you want to say I don't want to talk about this topic, you would say ما بدي احكي بهذا الموضوع. ما بدي, I don't want. احكي, I talk. بهذا الموضوع, about this topic. ما بدي احكي بهذا الموضوع. We use ما also to say there isn't. Like for example, is there a problem? في مشكلة? And if there is no problem, you would say ما في مشكلة. ما في, there isn't. مشكلة is a problem. ما في مشكلة. في حل, is there a solution? No, there isn't. ما في حل, there's no solution. ما في is there isn't, حل is solution. On the other hand, if I want to negate مشكلة and حل without the preposition في, I would use مو. So I would say مو مشكلة. But if I want to use it with في, I will say ما في مشكلة. مو حل, it's not a solution. ما في حل, there isn't a solution. For example, there's no problem, you could go. مو مشكلة, فيك تروح. مو مشكلة, it's not a problem. فيك تروح, you could go. Or مو حل, هاد يلي عم بتقوله, what are you saying is not a solution. مو حل, it's not a solution. هاد يلي عم بتقوله, that's what you are saying. مو حل, هاد يلي عم بتقوله. We use مو to negate ممكن, possible, لازم, should, مفروض, supposed to, ممنوع, forbidden. For example, مو ممكن نوصل على الوقت. It's not possible to arrive at time. مو ممكن, it's not possible. نوصل, we arrive, على الوقت, at time. مو ممكن نوصل على الوقت. If you want to say you are not supposed to talk like this, you could say مو لازم تحكي هيك. مو لازم, you are not supposed. تحكي هيك, to talk like this. مو لازم تحكي هيك. If you want to say swimming is not forbidden here, you would say السباحة مو ممنوعة هون. السباحة is swimming. مو ممنوعة is not forbidden. Here is هون. Equally, we would use مش. So I could say مش ممكن, مش لازم, مش ممنوع. They are used the same. We use مو and مش to negate pronouns like مو أنا, it's not me, مو أنت, it's not you, and etc. For example, مو أنا يلي طبخت, it's not me who cooked. مو أنا, it's not me. يلي, it's who. طبخت, cooked. I cooked. It's not me who cooked. مو أنا يلي طبخت. We use مو and مش to negate adjectives. For example, مو مرتاحة هون. I'm not comfortable here. مو is I'm not, مرتاحة is I'm comfortable. It is feminine, it has تاء مربوطة. The masculine is مرتاح. هون is here. Or you could say مش مرتاحة هون. I'm not comfortable here. Or on the other hand, if you want to say I'm not free today, you could say مو فاضي أبدا اليوم. مو I'm not. فاضي free, it is masculine. The feminine is فاضية. أبدا at all. اليوم today. مو فاضي أبدا اليوم. We use mu and mish to say that we are not present somewhere. So, for example, someone is asking, is Khalid at home? Khalid بالبيت. And you want to answer, no, he's not at home. لا مو بالبيت. No, he's not at home. In the Arabic sentence, we don't need to use again he. We could just say مو بالبيت because we already talked about it in the question. خالد بالبيت مو بالبيت. انت بالسوق. Are you at the market? لا مو بالسوق. No, I'm not at the market. انت بالاجتماع. لا مو بالاجتماع. Are you at the meeting? لا مو بالاجتماع. No, not at the meeting. منى بالشغل. Is منى at work? لا مو بالشغل. No, she's not at work. Again, you don't need to repeat she in the Arabic sentence. You could just simply answer لا مو بالشغل. You could also use مش with all of them. مش بالبيت, مش بالشغل, مش بالسوق, مش بالاجتماع. I hope today's lesson will help you to understand when to use mu, mish, and when to use ma. Again, I want to remind you what we said and the rules, they are not followed 100%. Because some people, sometimes they would use ma instead of mu and mish in some region of the Levantine dialect. But what we said today, this is the base and this is the general rule. If you have any question, leave me a comment and I will answer you. Now let's go over our words for today. Not, mu, ma, mish. I didn't study for the exam. ما درست للامتحان. I don't study over the weekend. ما بدرس بالعطلة. I'm not going to study. I know all the lessons. ما لح أدرس. بعرف كل الدروس. مش لح أدرس. بعرف كل الدروس. I'm not studying. I finished. ما عم بدرس. خلصت. مش عم بدرس. خلصت. I'm not going. مو رايح. مش رايح. I'm not hearing. مو سامع. مش سامع. I'm not hearing what you are saying. مو سامع. شو عم تقول. I'm not going with you. مو رايح معكن. I don't have time. ما عندي وقت. Do you have salt? I don't have salt. عندك ملح؟ ما عندي ملح. Is Sami at your place? No, he's not at my place. سامي عندك؟ لا مو عندي. You don't have the right to say that. ما معك حق تقول هيك. Do you have your car with you? No, it's not with me. معك سيارتك؟ لا مو معي. I can't talk to you now. ما فيني حاكيك هلا. I don't want to talk about this topic. ما بدي أحكي بهذا الموضوع. There isn't a problem. ما في مشكلة. Is there a solution? There is no solution. في حل؟ ما في حل. Not a problem. مو مشكلة. Not a solution. مو حل. No problem, you can go. مو مشكلة, فيك تروح. What you are saying is not a solution. مو حل هاد يلي عم بتقوله. It's not possible to arrive on time. مو ممكن نوصل على الوقت. You are not supposed to talk like this. مو لازم تحكي هيك. Swimming is not forbidden here. السباحة مو ممنوعة هون. It's not me who cooked. مو أنا يلي طبخت. I'm not comfortable here. مو مرتاحة هون. I'm not free at all today. مو فاضي أبدا اليوم. As always, thank you for joining me today. If you liked today's lesson, give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you want to see more grammar about the Levantine dialect, you could check it over here. If you want to see more phrases, you could check it over there. See you there. Yalla bye.